Yeah, hi there, and these comments are for MC, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. You are one of my TOEFL writing boot camp students. You just completed an independent, I think it's independent writing practice set number 6, and you want me to error correct your essay to show you what you need to do to get a perfect score on the independent writing task of the TOEFL IBT exam. Am I right? Okay, so let's take a look at the question. In your opinion, what is the most important characteristic, for example, honesty, intelligence, a sense of humor, that a person can have to be successful in life? Use specific reasons and examples from your experience to explain your answer. When you write your answer, you're not limited to the examples listed in the question. All right, so I read your essay, and there's some things that you had 242 words, so you need more development. You are missing the detailed information in each of those body paragraphs, and that is one of the key things that you can do to strengthen the argument here, to strengthen your writing, and ultimately to improve your TOEFL score. So right now, I gave you a score of 3.5 out of 5, 22 points out of 30. I think here you have somewhat developed explanations or examples, but you need more development. I think you have some problems with sentence formation, maybe word choice. But the main reason I put you below 4 is the development issue. You simply need to develop your ideas more. All right, that's the main thing. So now we're going to work on your essay one paragraph at a time. Let's start with your introduction. So your goal here is to get this introduction over about 100 words, right? So we need to, and you have a thesis, right? Your thesis and your topic sentences connect for more or less, right? We'll make some changes in the topic sentences, but overall you have a pretty good sense of structure, right? But we need a longer introduction, so I'm going to show you some things that you can do. So in the introduction here, I'm raising the topic a little bit more, and I've developed, I think you were at about 36 words, and now we are at 123 words for the introduction. So let's see what kinds of changes I made here. Okay, here's the beginning. People such as Bill Gates of Microsoft and Steve Jobs of Apple have successfully managed their corporations, thereby creating wealth and fame for them and others in their companies. However, what is it exactly that makes them and other people successful? Some believe that honesty is an important characteristic for success, whereas others think that intelligence is the most important attribute to make one successful. In addition, a sense of humor, some believe, may ensure one's success throughout his or her life. In my opinion, you see what we did? So here, I raised the topic a little bit. You went too quickly to your thesis. You need to raise the topic, get some interest in what you're saying, and even that's why I use the question. I use the question as a hook right here. So then we say, in my opinion, the most important trait a person might have to succeed in his life is charisma. And having charisma, no need to capitalize it, means the person can project power, presence, and warmth to be able to positively influence the people around him. Okay, so that's what I would do first. That's my first major change to your writing. Now here's another idea. Each paragraph, I recommend you want to try to get about 100 words. 38 words is not a good paragraph. Minimum is 50 to 150 words. That's what you're looking for academic writing, and also for the independent writing task on the TOEFL IBT exam, right? So now at this point in the essay, I want to straighten out and improve your topic sentences, right? So let's do that, and then we'll work on putting more details in each of your body paragraphs. So the idea here is why charisma is an important characteristic for success, right? So every topic sentence needs to reflect that. So then, we'll be using this word a lot. So I'm going to put this here. You notice that? I mean, look at this. So in this paragraph, you don't have a single word in here that mentions charisma. Now, why is that? Now, if you want a good connection, you have to use that word. I would use it multiple times in every paragraph because that is the key idea. Is charisma. Charisma, charisma, charisma is important, right? So you might say, so take this idea. So we'll say charisma and vital means important, right? We'll say for success in as much as so I would say this. So I think that we're in pretty good shape here. So I have to work. Every topic sentence needs a little bit of improvement, right? So first, charisma is a vital attribute for success in as much as it allows people to display power. Then we'll say, second, so people should show charisma which it gives them presence. I think this is okay here. So we have another topic sentence here. So charisma, a critical characteristic maybe of success in life leaders to show warmth. Okay, I think we have it. So we're trying to repeat a little bit more some of the key ideas from the writing prompt to help give your body paragraphs a little bit more of what we call a coherent organization. So let's review one more time what we've done here. First, charisma is a vital attribute for success in as much as it allows people to display power. Second, people should show charisma because it gives them presence. Finally, charisma, a critical characteristic of success in life, allows leaders to show warmth. And that's it. So now I think we have a little bit better connection of ideas. The next goal in this error correction video is to take each paragraph and develop it a little bit more than what you've done, right? So where are we at now? We have 50. We need to double this, right? So let's see what we have. Charisma is a vital attribute for success in as much as it allows people to display power. People will trust someone who displays I'm going to say power here, not confidence, because you're trying to illustrate this idea. Not as an authoritative leader, but as a person who has the courage to make good personal and business decisions. And you can't say there, you have to say his or her, because you said a person here, right? So you want to make sure you're using, it's called pronoun agreement here. This is the first thing you want to study from a grammatical point of view. Go to Google. Here are your keywords. Pronoun agreement in academic writing. Right? So be careful about pronoun agreement shifts. Okay, so what I did with your first body paragraph, I added this. And now this adds another 80 or so words to what you said. So you say first, charisma is a vital attribute for success in as much as it allows people to display power. People will trust someone who displays power in his actions, not as an authoritative leader, but as a person who has the courage to make good personal and business decisions in his or her daily interactions. For example, after consulting with top advisors, a CEO will need to make a decision on how to best market his company. Once he decides he wants to make television advertisements, for example, he will need to show power to his marketing team to convince them that this is the best way to drum up more business for the firm. After his team sees his vision and power, then they will be inspired to come up with the slogans that will help sell the company's products. All right, so notice the idea here is I'm using this word power several times in this particular paragraph, and that helps keep the purpose clear. Notice how I even use it here. So whatever the key word is in the topic sentence, you can repeat that key word a few times in this paragraph to show depth and complexity of thought. Okay, let's go to your next body paragraph. So still, we probably need to develop this. Yeah, 65. We're trying to get closer to 100 here. So let's see what you said. Second, people should show charisma because it gives them a presence. And let's combine these two, the ability gives them presence. The ability for a person to use his body language to project a positive reaction among a group of people with high energy that expands across his team. Now, in a couple of examples, I think in an earlier one too, and this, where is it? Maybe I did it in the beginning here. Let's look at the grammar here and we show you. It says here, it gives them presence, the ability for a person, this. This is called an appositive. Now, I want you to go to my website under the grammar part of my course and take a look at appositives. What is that exactly? An appositive is a noun phrase that's used to modify another noun phrase. And if you use this kind of grammar more, it shows you have better control over your language use. Right? So make sure you understand what appositives are and how they work in academic writing. All right, let's keep going. A person with presence will be the one who can inspire people to reach the objectives proposed because he listens attentively to other people, and he listens, and because he makes them feel at ease. So this is called verb agreement. This verb here is singular. Then make sure this verb is also singular. So be careful about your verbs, and if it's singular or plural, make sure you're showing that accurately. You say a person with presence will be the one who can inspire people to reach the objectives proposed because he listens attentively to other people and makes them feel at ease. Maybe it's a good time to give an example of Steve Jobs here. Maybe that's what we can do here. Okay, so in this paragraph, we've gone from 60-something words in this second body paragraph to, I think it's around 126. See that? And notice how each paragraph, I kind of develop it in about the same, this almost not quite, but similar number of words. So let's see what we did here. So second, people should show charisma because it gives them presence, the ability for a person to use his body language to project a positive reaction among a group of people with high energy that expands across his team. A person with presence will be the one who can inspire people to reach the objectives proposed because he listens attentively to other people and makes them feel at ease. For instance, Steve Jobs, according to many, definitely had a charismatic presence which inspired his workers to innovate, which is how they came up with the iPod, the iPad, the smartphone, and the Apple Watch. Through his presence, Jobs and his employees created products that people actually use and will pay a lot of money to have. Okay, so you remember what we did before? You see this idea of charisma, the idea of presence here. So I mention it here. I mention it here again. And I even mention it this time and then one more time through the end of it. Now remember, I'm not just being repetitious in a bad way here. I'm developing the ideas, I'm explaining the points, and I'm using this keyword presence because it relates to the topic sentence that you've created here, and it also ties back to the thesis. So repetition, or using similar words to refer back to a previously mentioned idea, is an effective way to make the writing more coherent, and that's going to be very good for your TOEFL writing score. All right, let's keep going. Let's go to our final paragraph here. So it says, finally, charisma, a critical characteristic of success in life. This is another appositive. This is the grammar I want you to learn. Right? Check this out. So a critical characteristic of success in life allows leaders to show warmth. How about this? Another comma. And we can say the capacity to make people trust. And you're saying leaders, right? So to trust them, which means the leaders. So there's no need to use that you point of view here. Definitely not. So I'm going to say people with charismatic warmth will care about the people who work with them. Now notice here, I like how you're using this grammar, but when you're using not only in the very beginning of the sentence, you need to use an auxiliary verb before the subject. So not only will they support these leaders in their daily assigned tasks, subordinate employees will also recognize them as human beings who have feelings and the need to deal with difficult personal circumstances. So here's something I want you to also look at. Go to Google. Here's another key word here to help you avoid this type of grammar error later on. Typically for TOEFL and for many forms of academic writing, you don't need that second person singular point of view, the you. Okay, so go to Google. Here are the key words. Choosing the appropriate point of view in academic writing. That's one keyword. How about this one? Avoid point of view shifts in academic writing. Those are some other keywords you can look at, and you can get some more information in those areas. Okay, so let's keep going here. A warmth. I'm going to just say a warm person, because warmth is a noun and warm is an adjective. A warm person will show interest in a person's current situation and will notice and support and maybe provide support if something is, how about this, adversely affecting the person. This is actually more developed than the other paragraph, so I think you're almost here, but I'm still going to add one quick example to develop this idea a little bit more. Okay, in this final body paragraph, you can kind of see what I added there. So let's look at what you have first of all, and then we'll look at what I added. So finally, charisma, a critical characteristic of success in life, allows leaders to show warmth, the capacity to make people trust them. People with charismatic warmth will care about the people who work with them. Not only will they support these leaders in their daily tasks, but subordinate employees will also recognize them as human beings who have feelings and the need to deal with difficult personal circumstances. A warm person will show interest in a person's current situation and will notice and provide support if something is adversely affecting the person. Adversely is kind of negative. And subordinate is an employer works underneath somebody else. Then this is what I put in there. So for example, sometimes new hires have trouble adjusting to a new company because they feel they do not belong or that they're not making a positive impact. A leader who shows warmth will help these new hires see their worth and purpose so that these new workers can become productive members of their teams. And that's it. So we developed this topic a little bit more. All right, let's take a look at your final paragraph here. A charismatic person will have the power to align all the effort of the team. Being a good leader will listen carefully when someone speaks and will take care of the group of people who surround them. Well, the second paragraph, you probably need to repeat that idea here. So we need to make sure that this paragraph restates the key points that are being made in the essay. All right, let's take a look at the essay one more time. And remember that your score is 3.5 out of 5. You wrote roughly 220 something words. You had 22 points out of 30. So that my essay, the corrections and the added development and the improved organization and all that, that's going to help you get 5.5 out of 5 or 30 points out of 30. And then I actually wrote how much is it? 599 words. Now, here's a key here. Don't have a heart attack here and you say, well, I can never do that. Now, like I was saying before, in this case, we have a well-developed first paragraph. We have 3 body paragraphs along with a conclusion. Now, if you want, you could actually just have 4 paragraphs here. You could have paragraph 1 and then 2 body paragraphs along with a conclusion. Like I was saying, it's better to have 2 really fully developed paragraphs in the body of the essay than to have 3 which aren't developed very much at all. So that would be my advice on that. Okay, let's spell check it one more time, and then I'm going to read your essay one more time, and then I'm going to make some recommendations. Okay, here we go. And I'm sure I will miss some spelling mistakes, but you get the general idea. Do you see what I'm saying here? It says, people such as Bill Gates of Microsoft and Steve Jobs of Apple have successfully managed their corporations, thereby creating wealth and fame for them and others in their companies. However, what is it that makes them and other people successful? Some believe that honesty is an important characteristic for success, whereas others think that intelligence is the most important attribute to make one successful in life. In addition, a sense of humor, some believe, may ensure one's success throughout his or her life. In my opinion, the most important trait a person might have to succeed in his life is charisma. Having charisma means a person can project power, presence, and warmth to be able to positively influence the people around him. The next paragraph. First, charisma is a vital attribute for success inasmuch as it allows people to display power. People will trust someone who displays power in his actions, not as an authoritative leader, but as a person who has the courage to make good personal and business decisions in his or her daily interactions. For example, after consulting with top advisors, a CEO will need to make a decision on how to best market his company. Once he decides that he wants to make television advertisements, for example, he will need to show power to his marketing team to convince them that this is the best way to drum up more business for the firm. After his team sees his vision and power, then they will be inspired to come up with the slogans that will help sell the company's products. All right, let's keep going. Our next paragraph. Second, people should show charisma because it gives them presence, the ability for a person to use his body language to project a positive reaction among a group of people with high energy that expands across a team. A person with presence will be the one who can inspire people to reach the objectives proposed because he listens attentively to other people and makes them feel at ease. For instance, Steve Jobs, according to many, definitely had a charismatic presence which inspired his workers to innovate, which is how they came up with the iPod, the iPad, the smartphone, and the Apple Watch. Through his presence, Jobs and his employees created products that many people actually use and would pay a lot of money to have. Finally, charisma, a critical characteristic of success in life, allows leaders to show warmth, the capacity to make people trust them. People with charismatic warmth will care about the people who work with them. Not only will they support these leaders in their daily assigned tasks, but subordinate employees will also recognize them as human beings who have feelings and the need to deal with difficult personal circumstances. A warm person will show interest in a person's current situation and will notice and provide support if something is adversely affecting the person. For example, Sometimes new hires have trouble adjusting to a new company because they feel they do not belong or that they are not making a positive impact. A leader who shows warmth will help these new hires see their worth and purpose so that these new workers can become productive members of their teams. Although many attributes are important in defining a person's success in life, charisma is the most vital characteristic because this type of person will have the power to align all the effort of the team. Being a good leader will show power so that others will have confidence in his decision making and will possess warmth by taking care of the group of people who surround him. And that's kind of what it looks like. Now, as one of my TOEFL Writing Bootcamp courses, here's your goal. You can send me one more error correction request. You can request, and I recommend an integrated writing practice test because now you want to see, you see now what kinds of changes you need to make for your independent writing tasks. That one, now you need to see what you need to do for the integrated writing one. So, in addition to the error correction writing, you can send me writing practice tests every day if you want, or every other day, and my teaching assistant will read, evaluate, and score those practice tests. He will not, however, error correct all of those essays. I only do 2. That's what I offer in this course. It's very time consuming to do what I did, to give these kinds of comments. I cannot do it for all of your essays. I apologize, but I think that you'll agree, hopefully you'll agree with this, that after 2 different error correction videos, you will know exactly what's wrong and what you need to do to get better. And this is what you now practice as you submit me writing practice on a weekly basis. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you don't have to, but if you want more error correction videos other than the 2 that I offer, it's expensive, not going to lie to you. You have to pay another $50 for every essay I error correct. But you don't have to do that. I think 2 is plenty for most students. All right? Now, in the next part of this video, I'm going to go to my website and I will recommend specific lessons based on your writing problems right now that I think can help you improve your TOEFL writing score. All right, so now we are at my online TOEFL course, right? So a lot of people say, well, Michael, why do you got 7 sections of this thing? I mean, it's only the reading, listening, speaking, and writing. You don't need all that other stuff. But you're going to see that a lot of your writing issues are connected to other language competencies. For example, I even think you can improve your vocabulary. So I'm going to make some recommendations here. I recommend vocabulary lesson number... Which one is it here? Number 4, 5, and 6. I think by improving your vocabulary, you'll definitely have a little bit better control over your language use. Okay, let's go to grammar. Yeah, grammar, you need to create more complex type sentences, right? So I think appositives, I told you about that already, lesson number 4. Using maybe adverb clauses, lesson 8, lesson 7, noun clauses, lesson 9, sentences with multiple clauses. You need a little help with lesson 11, subject verb inversions, I think is important for you. What else here? Sentence variety, I think, is a good one. Grammar lesson 26, I think is useful for you right now based on your writing areas. Okay, now let's go to writing, to the writing part of my course. You need some help with your topic sentences, I think. So let's see what we have here. I think writing lesson 5.2, one simple trick to improve topic sentences. I think this is good. Writing lesson 5.5, how to show depth and complexity of thought. Writing lesson 5.6, writing the perfect paragraph. I think that's going to be very useful for you. Also, writing lesson number 8, how to make your writing more coherent. So I gave you some suggestions already on how to do that. but I think I'd like you to take a look at that particular lesson also. So I think that's it. So those are some things that you can do right now. Now, don't get frustrated. Remember that you're paying me to help you not only to improve your writing for the TOEFL, but my suggestions, I'm telling you, they will help improve your writing forever. If you need writing for personal situations, professional situations, or academic situations, all of these comments I'm giving you will help you in all of those areas of your writing. Because remember, I teach English for the English department at California State University, San Bernardino. I teach academic writing, specifically first year and upper division composition, right? So I have a lot of experience helping students to improve their writing. So I'm telling you, you're in good hands. All right, so thank you very much for completing this independent writing practice test. I hope that this error correction video has helped you understand what you need to do to improve your writing for the TOEFL and beyond.